Success requires confidence, which is essential. You will find it difficult to complete a task if you lack confidence in your abilities. Confidence can be defined as how a person views himself or herself. It could be how one treats him or herself and performs in front of others. As we grow older, confidence often gets lost because our habits change over time and develop new skills that may not be so helpful. We may not know it, but we have everyday habits that are causing us to lose confidence in ourselves. What if I told you that these behaviors hinder not only our ability to succeed in life, but also our ability to find happiness? In today's video, we will talk about the habits that ruin your self-esteem. Grab your pens and papers to take notes because we're not just talking about things like working long hours at the office or eating junk food all day. Those are easy to spot, but what I will be talking about here is much more subtle. These are the everyday habits we develop when we aren't paying enough attention to ourselves, which then manifests itself in other ways when we fail at reaching our goals or feel stuck in life. And while you're at it, feel free to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Welcome to Luxe University. At the top of our list is making comparisons with others. All of us have been there. As you become engrossed in your social media feed, you begin to realize that other people are achieving goals more quickly than you. Perhaps they are happier in their marriage, have a nicer home, or have better jobs than you. You experience feelings of envy and insecurity. We're all human and we tend to compare ourselves with others. But the truth is, when we make those comparisons, they could potentially lower our self-esteem and ruin our day. Seeing your true value would not be easy. It's a good thing we exist so we can help you. You can try making a list of the conditions and scenarios that give you grief or cause you to be pessimistic to enhance your mental and emotional health. When you become aware of the circumstances that lead you to compare things, you can take steps to stay away from them. Or consider how others were able to achieve their success rather than feeling envious of them. Examine their methods to see if you can mimic such methods to reach success. Next, staying in toxic relationships. The best people can and frequently is brought forth by relationships. They bolster us, foster a sense of community, and serve as a constant reminder that we are not alone in this vast, uncharted world. They enable us to feel optimistic about the course of our lives. Perhaps we are reluctant to end a relationship because of our own unfulfilled needs and desires out of a sense of selfishness. These relationships does not only pertain to intimate ones, but also includes your relationship with friends and family. No matter where you go, there are going to be some people that make your life miserable, whether from your family, spouse, relatives, or even friends. Don't let these toxic relationships ruin you. You deserve to live a life free of negativity and unproductive relationships. They can be really hard to realize, but once you do recognize them, actions must be taken. The next bad habit you need to overcome is talking negatively to yourself. Everyone has an internal critic. This tiny voice can occasionally be beneficial and keep us motivated towards our goals, such as when it warns us that the food we're going to eat is unhealthy, or that the action we're about to make might not be a good idea. However, this voice can frequently do more harm than good. Every one of us engages in self-talk regularly. Self-talk can be fueled by negative ideas and sentiments and can significantly affect one's sense of self and how one sees the world. You can overcome negative self-talk by taking a few deep breaths. Stop what you're doing and take a few deep breaths. It will help you relax and gain some perspective, which will lower your heart rate. This will help you control your thoughts by bringing them back to the present. Another one is the habit of people-pleasing. We all want to feel loved. We all desire a sense of acceptance and belonging. But there's a fine line between people-pleasing and being selfless. There's no harm in trying to make other people happy. It's a pretty great trait. But sometimes, we act in this way to keep from disappointing other people, to put pressure on ourselves to live up to a certain standard. Don't be scared to say no if you've been put in a position where you feel pressured to do something you're not happy with. Your ability to make independent decisions demonstrates your strength. The next time someone asks you for a favor or to do anything that consumes your time or energy, simply say no without explaining. If they ask you why, you can tell them that you are currently focusing on your personal growth and would like to focus on that right now, or something along those lines. If they don't get it at first, that's okay. They'll likely see your point of view in the long run. Next bad habit is untidiness. Have you ever noticed that cleaning is never more necessary than other tasks, and it is simpler to leave things in a disorganized pile? To be honest, we're all susceptible to a bug of messiness from time to time, but making it a habit that you turn into a slob is harmful to your health and self-esteem. This disorganized state of mind might eventually make you distracted, lose attention, and feel disoriented. It can also have a detrimental impact on your sleep, physical and mental health. You can try listening to music as you clean. You can even sing along and try to get rid of unnecessary items you don't need or want at least twice a year. Keep in mind that cleaning can be therapeutic. The mind is freed up to refocus and be more productive after cleaning. Another bad trait that ruins one's confidence is being too impulsive. It's human nature to sometimes say or do something you wish you hadn't, but some people are impulsive, often, maybe several times a day. Being too impulsive can hinder you from making good choices, and the consequences of unplanned choices can result in your capacity to trust yourself in making decisions, lowering your self-esteem. Those who aren't used to controlling their impulses may find it difficult to learn how to do so. You can start to build a support system of people you trust and can turn to for advice or spend time with trusted friends and family. Having individuals you can talk to about your worries may help you feel less anxious and less impulsive. You can also try doing relaxing things. Most rash actions can be directly linked to stress. Knowing what triggers you and what relaxes you is one of the keys to solving the habit of impulsiveness. How about you? Do you know any other methods to overcome impulsiveness? Comment them down below and share your insights with the rest of the community. Next bad habit is clinging to perfectionism. Do you find yourself dwelling on errors a lot? The majority of individuals agree that it is beneficial to have high expectations for oneself. High expectations might motivate you to perform at your very best. For instance, to thrive in their sports, sportsmen frequently train extensively. But there is a distinction to be made between high achievers and perfectionists. High achievers are driven to perform their best, but perfectionists are driven by fear and are immobilized by the thought of failing. According to research, perfectionism can lead to emotional distress and negative emotions such as tension, worry, and self-hatred. The unattainable standards of a perfectionist lead them to work excessively to meet them, which starts a vicious cycle that eventually leads to burnout. Seeking perfection in a world that is always changing is like wanting a beautiful sunset to last forever. The sun will always set. There's nothing we can do about it. The next time you are working on a task, whether it be a work project or creative endeavor, try to pay attention to when you start thinking about reaching an end goal. Last but not least, unhealthy eating habits. You've probably heard the saying, "You are what you eat," before. The phrase was first used in English in the early 1900s. It refers to the notion that a person's health is influenced by their diet. Simply said, what you eat determines both your physical and mental characteristics. We begin to feel fantastic when we feed our bodies the nutrients they require while avoiding those that makes us ill. For us to have enough energy to feed our bodies and thoughts throughout the day, our eating habits must be sustainable and rational. And you should remember, although everyone needs to eat regularly and with a variety of nutrients, everyone's dietary demands are different. When we learn what true health feels like, we could experience a complete shift in how we feel about ourselves. And that could indicate that our confidence keeps growing. Low self-esteem can be caused by many different things, such as being in an unhappy relationship, having unsatisfying work, or being ill. You may have been dealing with this since childhood, but it's possible that it appeared out of nowhere when you were an adult. Regardless of how or when it started, there are things that we can try that might be able to help. We can look for pleasure and engage in amusing activities. We might begin to feel better, sleep better, be happier, be more in control, and be more confident. We are at the end of our video. I hope you learned a lot from those habits and gathered some inspiration to stay committed to growth. We are glad to have you today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. This has been Luxe University. See you next time.